WTA Rankings before Australian Open 2026 draw. Gauff overtakes Anisimova for third spot. Bencic returns to top 10. The Australian Open draw will be held in Melbourne on Thursday with former champion Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek as the top two seeds. Coco Gauff overtook fellow American Amanda Anisimova to become world number 3, while Switzerland's Belinda Bencic returned to top 10 in the latest WTA rankings released on Monday, which will be used for the Australian Open 2026 draw. Photo credit, Reuters. Coco Gauff overtook fellow American Amanda Anisimova to become world number 3, while Switzerland's Belinda Bencic returned to top 10 in the latest WTA rankings released on Monday, which will be used for the Australian Open 2026 draw. Last week, Gauff reached the United Cup semifinals with USA, while Anisimova was knocked out of Brisbane International in the round of 16 by Marta Kostyuk, resulting in Anisimova and Gauff swapping the third and fourth spots. The Australian Open draw will be held in Melbourne on Thursday with former champion Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek as the top two seeds. Defending champion Madison Keys will be seeded 9th as she dropped 2 places after a quarter-final exit in Brisbane last week. 2. Iga Swiatek, POL, 8,328. 3, +1. Coco Gauff, USA, 6,423. 4, -1. Amanda Anisimova, USA, 6,320. 5. Elena Rybakina, 5,850. 6. Jessica Pegula, USA, 5,453. 7, +1. Jasmine Paolini, 4,267. 8, +1. Mira Andreeva, 4,232. 9, -2. Madison Keys, USA, 4,003. 10, +1. Belinda Bencic, SUI, 3,512. Jasmine Paolini and Mira Andreeva moved up 1 spot each to number 7 and number 8, respectively. Bencic returned to the top 10 for the first time since having a baby in April 2024. Olympic gold medalist Bencic won all 5 singles matches at the season-opening United Cup in Perth and Sydney, including victories over Swiatek and Paolini. Ukraine's Kostyuk, who lost to Sabalenka in the final in Brisbane, jumped 6 spots to 20. Alina Svitolina, Kostyuk's compatriot and the Auckland Open champion, moved up a place to 12. China's Xinyu Wang, who went down to Svitolina in the final in New Zealand, gained 14 spots to become world number 43. Elsewhere, in the top 100, Canada's Victoria Mboko, 17th. USA's Iva Jovic, 30th. Frenchwoman Lois Boisson, 35th. Romania's Jacqueline Christian, 37th. Alexandra Ila, 49th. Of the Philippines, Britain's Francesca Jones, 69th. Croatia's Petra Marcinko, 77th. And Germany's Alice Seidel, 78th. Achieved new career-high rankings. What are the current WTA rankings of the Indian players? Doubles. Vijayabhusale, 135. Prarthana Tamber, 137, +2. Riya Bhatia, 191. Ankita Raina, 197, -1. Srivali Bamidapati, 357, -1. Singles. Sahaja Yamalapalli, 367, +11. Srivali Bamidapati, 448, -1. Vaidhi Chaudhary, 462, +23. Riya Bhatia, 535, -1. Ankita Raina, 579, -2. Tennis shifting sands down under. WTA rankings before the 2026 Australian Open draw. The women's game entering the first Grand Slam of the year feels less like the predictable rerun of an established hierarchy and more like the opening chapter of a compelling new novel. As the sun blazes on Melbourne Park in a few weeks, the rankings ahead of the Australian Open draw tell a nuanced story of momentum, resilience, resurgence, and rivalry, a story that begins at the summit and ripples down through the top 10. First place medal, the unshakable summit, Sabalenka and Swiatek. At the top, Aryna Sabalenka remains firmly ensconced at world number 1. Her remarkable hard-court consistency has translated into a points lead that suggests near dominance, She successfully defended her Brisbane international title, doing so with the kind of ferocity that has marked her rise through the sport's upper echelon. Sabalenka's lead over world number 2 Iga Swiatek is significant, a margin that bodes well for her seed placing and mindset heading into the season's first major. Swiatek stands at number 2, and while she prefers not to proclaim specific targets for 2026, her presence near the top underscores her enduring threat and adaptability across surfaces. The Polish star remains a perennial contender, with the Australian Open the one major that has so far eluded her championship trophy. Dizzy a fresh look at number 3, Coco Gauff's ascent. Perhaps the most intriguing narrative among the elite is that of Coco Gauff, the American phenom who is poised at number 3 in the latest WTA rankings. It's a status that represents more than a number. It's the culmination of a steady upward climb, marked by victories over top rivals and a reinforced belief that Gauff is among the very few players capable of challenging for Grand Slam titles. Gauff's journey to this spot, overtaking Amanda Anisimova, was a matter of fine margins. Both Americans had been jockeying within a few dozen ranking points of each other, with Anisimova briefly enjoying the higher position. But Gauff's recent head-to-head results, including a key win over Swiatek at the United Cup, and solid performances in early hardcourt events helped tip the scales in her favor. For Gauff, this isn't merely about a one-off surge. It reflects her year-round growth into a player with tactical maturity, heavy weapons from every corner of the court, and the competitive fire that seems integral to her DNA. As number 3, she will be seeded accordingly at Melbourne, a position that enhances her draw prospects and the narrative that she is ready to contend past the quarterfinals on tennis's biggest stages. VS Button 4th seeded, 4th ranked. Amanda Anisimova. Right behind Gauff sits Amanda Anisimova, now world number 4. Her rise into the top 5 reflected a stellar 2025, including deep runs at Grand Slams and breakthrough WTA 1000 titles. But the early weeks of the season have been a reminder that maintaining peak form across years, surfaces and phases is one of sport's great balancing acts. Anisimova's early exit at Brisbane, where she was upset before the latter stages, underscored how volatile transitional season moments can be. Just as a breakthrough run can elevate a player, a stumble, however brief, can have rippling effects in the tightly packed world of ranking points. In that context, Gauff's elevation feels earned as much as it does strategic. Key Captain Top 10 return, Belinda Bencic's resurgence. One of the most inspiring subplots of the early 2026 season is the remarkable rise of Belinda Bencic back into the top 10. The Swiss veteran's journey back to prominence has been a testament to resilience and reinvention. A former top 5 player who faced ranking peril after time away from the tour, Bencic's resurgence has been nothing short of remarkable. After returning from maternity leave and rebuilding her ranking from well outside the elite, Bencic climbed steadily through 2025 and has now rejoined the sport's elite. Her strong performance at the United Cup, where she was integral to Switzerland reaching the final, exemplified both her competitive fire and her broader role as a bridge between established stars and rising talents. Her re-entry into the top 10, now at number 10, also signals a shift within the wider top bracket of women's tennis, one that values adaptability, experience, and strategic tournament play. Bencic's story is a welcome reminder that the path to the top is not always linear. Sometimes, it is the patient resurgence that resonates most deeply.